Coming up on KX News at 10, new cases of the coronavirus in North Dakota and the number of workers handling all the testing in the state. All the latest COVID-19 news coming up. And the first Sunday in North Dakota without church services. How many still found ways to worship? Plus, going stir crazy just yet? We've got some ideas to break the boredom.
Putting North Dakota first. KX News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Renee Cooper. Thanks for joining us for KX News at 10. Leading the news tonight, 2 new cases of the coronavirus were tested positive in North Dakota today. One is from Burleigh County and is travel related. The other is from Pierce County, which was a contact spread. 4 people out of the 30 cases statewide are now hospitalized. Governor Doug Burgum says tests are currently taking 2 to 3 days to turn around results. He says Cass County has about 300 tests, and they were sent to a different lab nationally, which is why there's only 1 confirmed case from that county so far. The lab they were sent to has been overwhelmed, and it's on about a 7-day turnaround. Cass County cases are expected to rise once those results are back. The governor stressed today North Dakota is no longer low on tests, and the requirements to get tested have not changed since Friday.
Want to test people that have had that are either, if they're in a vulnerable population, they've got symptoms, or they're at risk, meaning at risk of having been in contact with someone who's a known positive or a known travel location, or if they are at risk because they're working in the medical profession and they may have been in contact.
Governor Burgum says he's also been in regular contact with tribal nations in North Dakota. He says he had calls with tribal leaders and thanks them for their efforts to help and stay ahead of COVID-19. He says there are currently 10 workers at the state lab working on testing for coronavirus. Governor Burgum says people need to continue practicing individual responsibility and social distancing.
It's going to protect you. It's going to protect your family. It's going to protect people that you've never met before. And so we just, again, keep appealing to people's concern, not only for their self concern, but for the community. We've got to be thinking about more than ourselves right now.
Burgum says outside of the Fargo-Sanford, there are not any other counties with large amounts of pending tests. Well, Burgum also signed an executive order today giving K-12 school districts until March 27th to submit plans for distance learning. School districts have until April 1st to have their plan approved by the governor and the state superintendent. Well, after President Trump urged the public to avoid gatherings in groups of 10 or more due to COVID-19, churches across the state are offering services a little differently. PJ Walker shares how the faith community is adjusting to the times.
COVID-19 has affected businesses, schools, families, and now churches.
As much as we love to be together, just the wisest decision on our part was to encourage people to stay home, follow the advice of others, and say, hey, we will get the message and the service to you.
Dan Dangerfield is the lead pastor of Minot First Assembly in Minot, and like many other churches, he's gone from preaching to 500 members to just 1 camera.
So we're looking at all aspects of doing church remotely. So we're so thankful for technology and the internet.
Dangerfield says he and his team are dedicated to making sure people still have access to the church even when they can't do it in person. And that even means going outside of the church to make sure members have what they need.
We actually reached out to those in our congregation that we're aware of to say, hey, is there something we can do to help you in this time? Can we go grocery shopping? Can we do something if there's concerns for you going out and being around others?
Praise and worship, prayer, and the pastor's message are all given on social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But there is another important group of the church that needs to feel a sense of normalcy as well.
We've tried to find different interactive ways for them to engage with us.
The youth pastor says that the kids not being in school and their lives kind of shaken up due to the coronavirus, it's important that they have some sort of structure.
For example, we might do a review game every week because they have this sense of, okay, I know what's coming next.
With so many uncertainties surrounding COVID-19, there is one thing for sure. Churches are prepared to do online services as long as they need to. Reporting in Minot for KX News, I'm PJ Walker.
Well, if you want to find out how you can watch a service online, head on over to our website. That's kxnet.com. Well, whether you work from home or still go into the office, the CDC has tips to make sure you're cleaning your workspace the right way. They recommend wiping down everything you or your coworkers touch before and after a shift. Surfaces you clean should be wet for 3 to 5 minutes after you're done wiping. They say keyboards and computer mice usually attract lots of germs, which is something people are taking care of.
It's something that feels kind of ominous, and like you just want to make sure that we're protecting each other and ourselves.
Well, recent studies done by the health experts show that the average desk has about 400 times more germs than a toilet seat. Believe that or not. As families continue to self-distance to curb the spread of the coronavirus, research says it's important to keep fun activities on the agenda to keep from going stir-crazy. A study from Harvard Medical School found something as simple as playing a board game or doing a puzzle can stimulate the brain and improve your mood. Exercise also helps. This video was sent to us from a viewer. She's doing at-home yoga to keep calm. Parents we spoke to today tell us it's just as easy to sit on the couch and watch TV or play video games, but screen time should be kept to a minimum.
Locking down their iPads after about an hour of use and kicking them outside in the garage and playing a game, or now today we're out on the bikes for a few hours and playing on the playground.
Well, he says you can also try your hand at do-it-yourself art projects to get those creative juices flowing. Good ideas there. While some choose yoga inside, others were taking advantage of the above freezing temps outside today by heading to the park to get active. Governor Burgum said today there's nothing wrong with taking some time outdoors as long as you're still practicing social distancing. Many decided to take a walk along the trails while others hit the jungle gym. Some decided to have some fun at the trampoline, and families tell us they were tired of being cooped up at home, so they decided to just get some fresh air.
So we can take advantage of it now, you know, get out and get in the nice temperatures and just have fun, interact, you know, keep minimal social distance between family members, but we know it's important at the same time if we're going out in the community into a store or something. So.
Well, according to the National Institutes of Health, being outside for 15 minutes a day is enough to relieve anxiety or depression. And cases of the coronavirus continue to expand across the country at an alarming rate. The National Centers for Disease Control puts the total at 33,276 cases. We updated these numbers just a couple of minutes ago, and the death toll is now at 417. In fact, today in Michigan, over 250 cases were confirmed just today. Now, closer to home here in North Dakota, we'll show you we're also seeing that number rise. As I mentioned at the start of the show, our Department of Health says 2 new cases were confirmed today, one in Burleigh County and one was in Pierce County, bringing the total number of cases statewide to 30. Well, moving to another national story, an American nurse is volunteering in Italy as the coronavirus pandemic stretches medical resources there to the breaking point. She says what she's seeing in Italy should be a warning to Americans.
We hear the sirens from the ambulance that picks up the patients and brings them to the hospital all day, all night, constantly.
Right now, Samaritan's Purse has an emergency field hospital set up in the parking lot of Cremona Hospital. That's near Milan. She says that the hospital has 600 beds. All, aside from 100, have been converted for COVID-19 patients. The rest reserved for children and pregnant women. Of those 500 patients, 100 are medical staff that once worked inside the hospital, now battling the disease. The tent she works in has 68 beds.
We're definitely going to fill up.
If you could speak to the American public, to those spring breakers in Florida who refuse to leave the beaches, what would you say to those people?
Really don't want to see what's happening here, happening in the United States. It can happen, and it happens very quickly. It literally was 3 weeks before Italy. From day one to where we're at now has been about 3.5 weeks, and it happens very fast and it multiplies. The restrictions are not placed on the United States out of panic or hysteria. It's a public health strategy.
For volunteers working tirelessly to push back against the pandemic, Nurse Sites asks for your prayers. And,
gosh, do the right things back at home, and that helps us to be able to come home and take care of our families. It's hard to leave a disaster to come to a disaster.
Well, Nurse Sites has been a nurse for about 20 years, and she's fought infectious diseases around the world, but she says she's never seen anything quite like COVID-19. Well, the IOC will look at postponing the Tokyo Olympics. It was announced today amid mounting criticism by athletes and sports officials during the coronavirus pandemic. The International Olympic Committee says over the next 4 weeks, consultation with Japanese public authorities, global sports officials, broadcasters, and sponsors will deal with scenario planning for the July 24th through August 9th games. This includes the possibility of postponement. The IOC said in a statement, adding, quote, cancellation is not on the agenda. The change in strategy followed the IOC President Thomas Bach leading a conference call with executive board members. Bach has consistently said organizers are fully committed to opening the games on July 24th, despite athlete training, qualifying events, and games preparations being disrupted more and more by the virus outbreak. Criticism by Olympic gold medalists and by an IOC member have grown in recent days before Bach acknowledged an alternative plan was possible. Well, coming up next on KX News at 10, we got much more of your local news ahead. Plus, Robert will be in soon with your springtime forecast. Stay tuned.